within the 23-24 winter months, there will be an insufficient energy supply. Today, let's jump into grid down. And this is news. This is not right lean, left lean. This is just a straight article saying, here's the facts of what the grid is like going into a hard winter for America. And they even put the zones, and I'm going to show you the zones that are at risk the most. Are you ready for a grid down scenario? Because it truly can happen this winter. Let's jump into this story today. Hopefully it's eye-opening and we can gain wisdom from it. This video starts right now.
Could you give me one chance to make you mine? When I close my eyes, you know that you're the
Hey guys, welcome to the Max. Thank you so much for being here today. If you're new to the channel, go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell, give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. That's okay, but let us know what you think about this content. When you give us a thumbs up, it does help us stay in the algorithm, and it sure means a lot to me. So we hope that you enjoy this content. Now let's talk about today's video. This article says, with a report from the 23-24 Winter Reliability Assessment, North American Electrical Reliability Corp warns of a heightened risk of insufficient energy as we go through extreme cold spells. This concern extends to large parts of the U.S. and the Canadian power grid, affecting approximately, listen to this now, 180 million people. Now, 180 million, remember, there's around 300 to 350 million just in America. So that's over half the population can be affected by this grid problem. It does affect us in Mississippi as well. So now a little bit further in the article. Those living in the heightened regions should consider security backup power generators and several sources to make sure that you are warm and taken care of for the winter months. It's actually more in dire straits than what it was last year. If you remember all the stuff that happened with the grid last year with Texas and some of that, they said it's actually worse this year than it was last year. The report continues that the reliable operation of bulk power systems and the availability of fuel for natural gas-fired generators are at risk during severe, widespread cold snaps. It says that recent winter incidents have shown that over 20% of the generating capacity will be knocked offline with freezing temperatures in these areas in North America. When the power supply is limited, the operators may experience sharp rise of demand, which will increase the use of electricity for the heating systems, which will cause their grid to have problems. I'm going to show you this map on the bigger screen, but you see that? That is most of the eastern part of America other than Florida. Actually, it goes, of course, into Canada too. And the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration said that there's an El Nino coming, and those conditions will make it more wet, and of course, in freezing temperatures will make it more vulnerable as we go into the winter months. This is a big one. Listen to this. The shift towards green energy. What do we talk about? Green energy with the phasing out of fossil fuels in favor of unreliable solar and wind contributes to the risk of a grid down event in freezing weather. It also comes as power demands surge more Americans than ever because they're charging their EVs. So the crap that's being pushed on you for this green energy initiative, solar, wind, and then also the electric vehicles are the reason that you're going to see more problems because there's not enough fuel, and we're allowing this to suffice for enough energy, and it's not providing enough. But the Biden administration was supposed to bolster the nation's power grid with billions of dollars in green spending. If that was the case, there would not be a warning. So if he would have spent the money like it was supposed to be in, just to fix the grid that we already had, instead of investing in all these green initiatives that doesn't mean anything, we wouldn't be having this problem as we go into winter. Remember that next time you vote next year. Remember that you're living in a first world country with billions and billions and billions of dollars we can spend across the world, but we can't secure our borders and we can't even keep our people warm because there could be a grid down scenario. We see the problem, we see who caused the problem. Now what's the solution? You know, I did a video talking about the Little Buddy heater. Do you have a Little Buddy heater? They're like $80 or $90. Pick those up, pick some extra propane up. We talked about propane just a few days ago on another video. Have some extra propane. If you can afford the big 300 to 500 gallon tanks to have just for safety, it's key. If you have a way to have a fireplace, cut firewood up. We literally talked about these few things just a few days ago when it came to the chainsaws, the axes, and also propane. You see how valuable prepping and understanding the value of what time of year it's coming to, the season. Well, guess what? Knowing this is happening, I bet your propane bill and natural gas bills will go up because they know the risk of it. So now it's time to get ready. Solar generators are great. I have 2 of them. However, if it's cloudy, rainy, and nasty like they're saying with El Nino, it's not going to give you enough power. You've got to look at gas generators. If you don't have gas generator, go right now. Do not wait for something bad to happen, because you will not find it. Most people wait. It's kind of like us. We live in hurricane zones, and most people will wait until we have a Category 4 sitting in the Gulf, and then they'll want to go out and buy gas, fuel, and a generator. Well, it's not going to be there, or it's going to be usurious, and they're going to charge way more for it. So start picking up this stuff now. It's moving into colder, freezing temperatures for all this area. Do not be held without a chance to get something to keep you warm, to give you energy. If you can't afford to buy a generator, you better start buying extra blankets, having some way to keep warm, and make sure your home is secure and very tight where you're not letting a lot of your hot air out and cold air in. This is very, very important. When you have an administration pushing against you, do you honestly believe they're going to always be there to take care of you when they've pushed billions to things that's causing more of the grid collapse? Go back and watch some of those videos about blackouts and grid down scenarios that we have. I'll link some of them below, but you need to go check those out. It's prepping must-haves. You must have those things. There's some that's very economical, and there's some that's costly, like a gas generator. But it will be money well spent. It's an investment for you, and I think it could be a game changer if all of a sudden the grid does falter or fail. Mississippi, again, we're blessed. We don't see just crazy low temperatures, but maybe once or twice throughout the whole winter season. It'll be cold, but we have fireplaces, we have things met. But if you're in these northern climates, if you're in the northern part of the United States, if you're in the Northeast, of course, if you're in Canada, you have got to plan to not depend on the grid. It's there for you, and it should have never been compromised, but our government is compromising it. What did I tell you a few weeks ago? When we allow the government to use things like climate, and we allow the government to set these precedents that are not proven true and working, then all of a sudden we are then in their hands, their overreach. We now have a chance for a volatile winter in America because of a grid collapse, because it's vulnerable, because of all the billions with the B that we've spent on green initiatives instead of fixing the grid we had, and instead of having the petroleum pumping. Remember this, spread the message that this is serious. This could really cause major pain, major suffering for a lot of people. The cold is nothing to play with, and if you have no way to heat your home, what if all of a sudden you can't get gas? What if all of a sudden you don't have an open fireplace like us? Are you gonna be able to keep warm? It's time to prepare. Be ready for anything, because if a 20 or 10 or 5-degree night comes, are you ready? Guys, thank you for watching. Give me your thoughts on all this. I blame this administration because it literally states that the grid would be in a whole lot better shape if we'd invested correctly. Guys, thank you for watching. God bless. Happy Homestead.
What if I said I'm sorry? What if I make a scene? Wouldn't that make you mine again? All I'll ever need. Didn't I make you laugh? And didn't I make you smile? Didn't I make you feel like you were happy for a while?